Hello, my name is Matthew. Today I want to talk about the KAL 1000 controller. By default, the controller will play through a sequence one time and come to a stop. Now there are other functions up here to set up your controller. The direction arrow, which will, as you can see here, change the direction. You can see it in your contextual menu. It will now play in reverse, but then it's stuck at the beginning now, isn't it? Because the play direction is hard-coded for reverse. I can change it there through the menu or through this toggle right here. Two additional modes exist. The loop mode. I use that one quite often, and it may suit your purposes depending on what you're trying to do. There's also ping pong mode where it will play forward and then toggle its direction to reverse and automatically play that. However, for my needs though, I'm wanting to go back such that it will play through one time, and when I go to hit play again, it will automatically rewind and replay the event. As I get into more complicated sequences using multiple controllers, I find it best to have a mock-up of parts in which I can practice and test my controllers and my scripts on. In this case, I just have a command pod, some legs to support the craft during testing outside. For this demonstration, I'm going to set up the controllers to flip the light on and off. I'll be doing this circuit with 3 KAL 1000 controllers here. I'll go ahead and pop those down and open the contextual menu in the editor. I find that being organized saves me a lot of time and headaches later as I get into more complex sequences. I'll pin my menu, remove it from symmetry, and then I'll go ahead and name this one, how about master switch? Open up the next one, pin it, remove it from symmetry, open up the editor, and I'll call this one swatch, maybe switch A. You can copy and paste through these, so that's helpful. And then our third one, open it, pin it. It's already out of symmetry. Open up the editor, paste my name, switch B. And then depending on your amount of OCD, get these where you can keep everything organized. It's pleasant to look at, out of your way. Everything's labeled. Once I have everything laid out, I'll go through the editor and change the length of the sequence here. For this case, I'm just going to set it to 1 second, but that's going to vary depending on what I'm trying to do. For this demo, I'm going to try to make this switch or this circuit toggle this light on and off, right? I'll go ahead and pin that just so I can see the state of that. Although once I get into the testing outside, one of the reasons why I like the light is it's instant visual feedback. I know whether that is on or off. To add part functions to your controllers, you need to go into your action groups. I can do that by clicking the icon at the top. It will list my 3 controllers that I labeled earlier in the bottom left. Alternatively, I can open up the action groups via the editor. I'll go ahead and start with that master switch. I'll click on the list on the left. As you can see there, it gets highlighted. Then to add the function to your editor, click on the part. You'll see it gets highlighted blue. It will list the functions here, and then I select the function that I want. In this case, the toggle light. It slides over there to the control field and also adds a function here to the editor. I can click on that and go ahead and label it. And although it lists a function below, as you start adding more lines to your editor, those will collapse, and sometimes it can get tricky on what function is what. So depending on what you're doing, you may want to type it out like I'm doing or leave it as the default. To place a point, select the editor. You have these buttons up here. You have add a point, and that's going to add this yellow dot here. That means the point is selected. It's going to drop it wherever the playhead is. Notice too that the playhead position is at the start, but the point reference down here in the bottom right is actually 0.01. If I scroll the playhead to the end and place a point, you'll notice that it is 0.99. Now since this is just a toggle on or off, for now, I'm just going to have it in the middle there. You can fine tune, see that right there?
play position, it rounds up here using the slider. Look how many significant digits it goes out to. So sometimes that's a better way to input it depending on what you're doing. But when I manually input it like that, I get that. So how do we fix that? Maybe scroll it back over. Try that again. There we go. And we can pop that right there. 0.5 right in the middle. And to delete it, I can just select the point by clicking on it and hit the negative button there to delete it. I can select that one and delete it using the button up there.
As I get popping these points, I'll be playing and rewinding the sequences of the controllers often just to make sure I'm on the right track. And I'm asking myself, okay, I played. As the playhead passed this point here in the middle, it turned this light on or off, it toggled it, and then it finished. Now what needs to happen next is this needs to rewind, right? So that's where these other two switches come in. If I select switch A, highlights that, and then we add a function. Well, we want to control the master switch. There we go. It highlights over here, and we have all these lists of functions. There is no rewind, right? So there is a, let's see, what is it? There's a playhead position here with your access fields. That's what I used on that first video using the two-way. So here I'm going to be using a toggle direction. There it is. We're going to add that function here to switch A. That's going to be toggle master switch direction. And then I can test this one independently. Hit play, nothing happens, right? I haven't added a point yet. So I can add this point here to the end. Bam. Okay, so then I'm going to use the same master switch to go ahead and fire off the switch A. So we'll reselect master switch in our list. Click on the part for switch A. Here's our list, and we want to toggle play. That adds the function over here. We'll call this play switch A. Go ahead and add the point. So we want to play, toggle this, and then after it toggles, we want to launch switch A. Notice it puts it slightly under 0.99. That's what we want. At the end of that, it's going to play this, and at the end of that, it will change the direction. So I'll go ahead and rewind everything. So I get in the habit, check my playhead positions, check my directions of the controller. Forward, click that one back and forward. Play it, see if it works. Good, it works. Now let's assume we're on our action group here. Call it 1, so we'll hit play again. That played in reverse. Good, which is what we wanted. Notice I hit play again, it won't play because we're still in reverse. Good. And then here, if I hit play again, it's stuck at the end and it's on forward. This is why also this play point here to fire this one off doesn't do anything, and it doesn't interrupt the sequence at all because this thing is locked on forward now. So again, I'll hit play, and we're back at our next position here. Hit play again, nothing happens. Hit play on switch A, nothing happens. Here comes switch B to kind of balance everything and to make this all work. It's the same reason why when we're playing it from reverse now, it skips over that one because it's locked in its forward position. It's not going to do anything. Just like when I click here now, it's not doing anything, right? So it's going to skip, toggle, and now we're back to the start or the end of that phase, and we want to fire off switch B to change the direction of this master switch again. So let's see here. I'll go to make sure my master switch is highlighted. I'll click Controller B. We'll go to Toggle Play. Copy that. Change the name, Play Switch B. And then add our point. Now, let's go to Switch B. We're over here now. Click the master switch. We want the same thing here, right? Toggle master switch direction, master switch direction. Copy this one to spare the typing mistakes. And we'll do the same thing here. So that one was during the edit. I'll rewind that one back to 0. So when that goes to here, skip, toggle play. That's going to launch this guy forward. And at the end of that, we want this here. We want the same thing, right? We'll see. So I can click, or actually no, I've already copied and pasted that, but you can click up here, you can copy your curve. So that's click on the row, click copy, come back over here. If it's already expanded, it's already selected, that's a bad habit of mine there. And then hit that button right there to paste it. You see it adds the same curve. So at this point here, then I'll go ahead and rewind. Feel like I'm conducting a play or an orchestra of sorts. Check our play positions, forward. We'll try it. All right, now that looks like something happened. I'm at the end, but look here, my play direction is stuck forward. Something's not quite right here. All right. So I got a couple of different things to do here. I'm gonna have to add additional functions, right? So if I hit play at this current phase of our sequence, that's locked out. Switch A is locked out. Switch B is locked out now. So all three of them are locked out now. So if this controller here, the master switch, is on 1, it's not doing a damn thing, is it? Everything is locked out. Okay, but before I do that though, I'm just gonna double check everything and make sure I didn't miss anything. Maybe these directions are off as far as when these things should fire. I have to consider the play points also. You see, these are both in the same direction. These are in the opposite direction. Maybe this one needs to be flipped over. One of the functions of the controllers I like are these little flippers here. So this one allows me to flip this curve. So that point went from the end to the beginning. I'll reset everything back to home and try it and see if that helps. I don't think it will though. It looked pretty, but that's locked. That's locked. That's locked, just for peace of mind. Forward. Locked. 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 Alright, good. Alright, so like I said, I want to try to bounce between the directions of A and B just like I did up here. Alright, so I'll go to switch A. I'll add control functions for B. Toggle the direction. Type it in down here. Toggle switch B direction. And then, do those need to happen at the same time? One or the other, right? Switch B, we want to control switch A, we want to toggle the direction. I copied that name in there, so I'll just go here. Toggle switch A direction. Then I'm at the end. I can add a point, but just for good practice, I'm going to copy that because I want them to happen at the same time. So at this point then, you can test it by accidentally clicking that. But I'll just go ahead and reset everything at home. Play heads, good. Forward, 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 test. Alright, that pong, that something happened there. Okay. So that played. But at the end there, I can break that down there. That plays. At the end of that, it switches the direction. And this is still playing at the same time. Maybe we need to start this one at the end and everything else at the beginning. So that's playhead 0, beginning, leave that one at the end, then keep everything at forward, forward, forward. Test it. Well, that's not exactly what we wanted. That's some weird shit there. That should be right. And even though I kind of have my cheat sheet handy, it's still tricky as hell to set these up. Reset everything, reset everything. Let's see if that does it. Nope. Nope. It's embarrassing at this point. You can see it gets kind of tricky. That one was maybe the problem. There we go, that's something. Now I should be able to hit play again. It went in reverse. There we go. So having those sliders in their proper place, that's still bugging out. Alright, so I did say it was one or the other, right? But sure enough, that wasn't it either. It just needs a little bit tweaking, and even then it's a crapshoot, it seems like. And I'm not sure why. It goes back to the timing of everything. Even though I thought I understood priorities, now I'm second guessing myself. So what I think is happening is that these are kind of executing at the same time. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that these points here are not firing at the same time as these points here and here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the length of that, and then I'm just going to re-enter these values here. Let's see if that's enough. So let's check the positions here. 0. And see how it jumps back and forth? Goes with these quirks of this here. Hit play, that worked. Hit it again, that worked. That's what we're looking for. I should be able to do this all day. There it failed. Alright, so we squeezed that one in. Let's go ahead and check these bad boys here. So those are firing at 0.5. I'm going to copy that. And then I want this bad boy to fire at 0.0. Okay. Now let's push these in. I think there's just those nuances on these things. still not quite confident. Let's go 0.2. We're going to copy that. I don't even trust the copy command at this point for that. So we're just going to manually input these 0.8. And we'll manually do it. And then go to our home position. Forward, forward, forward. Let's try it. There we go. That already seems better, but who knows? The other ones work too, and they just tweaked out. So I have the circuit down, that I understand. The timing's not quite so much. So if you're having problems that are like this one, that's kind of your fix. Now, once I have it working, I should be able to just drop this down to 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and again, it should still work, but fire off quicker. All right, so once I have it working or in a state that I'm happy with, I'll go ahead and test it outside and make sure it works before I go and put it to a vehicle. There we go. Hitting the one key, it's turning on and off. Let's see what's going on under the hood. What a pain in the butt. Open that guy. Let's see what's going on here. It's kind of neat watching those things work in action when they do work. My cadence here is picking up on my keys. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And I know this video is a lot longer than it really needs to be, but hopefully through my struggles we can all learn through that. Or you can have a good laugh if you already know all this stuff. How about it? Alright, so it didn't work when I tried to use my subassembly, so I went ahead and just remade the whole circuit in the exact manner and fashion that I did the on and off switch with the light. So instead of the light, I'm controlling this controller here with this controller here. And the timings I tweaked just a little bit. If I hit play and those open up, I just can't really spam that button. But I hit play, and that fires off those other controllers. See, I think it was still running, that's why it fell there. But I think it will correct itself. There it goes. So still needs some tweaking, but this is a great case scenario for using controllers like this to fire off events and such. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks pretty bitchin'. I'll have my science tucked in there. And then this bad boy here, I'm going to use the same techniques here to make my little scanning arm come out using this hinge. Actually, I think I have one of those pistons which I've not used before. Let's see, I'll give you a little show and tell of what I'm working on. There's my piston. So I'm going to control it so that comes out. Let me close these guys. Oops. So that will, wow, that thing is huge, huh? So that will come out like this, and then that hinge or that servo is going to turn. I need to tweak those a bit, and then this hinge will come down here. It looks like I need to flip that around maybe, and my scanner thing will be able to activate. Yeah, I just threw that together this morning, so that's where I'm at with this bad boy. Anyways, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.